Hey folks, it's Professor Blowers. I'm excited to be working on this project with you. We're in Microsoft Word. This is our third Walkabout, and this is the research paper and newsletter grader 3 assignment. And here are the instructions. And as usual, we'll go ahead and highlight them as we go. We've opened the file and we'll scroll down. And for 3 points, we're going to click at the beginning of the file. And from the grader files we downloaded, which we got from here, which we got from clicking on the 3G newsletter here. You can ignore the dates unless you are indeed taking it at this time. You download the materials and they come in a folder. So let's go ahead and on our Word document, folks, right here, make sure your cursor is blinking before the U in University. We'll go to the Insert tab, and in the Illustrations group, select the Pictures button and insert picture from this device right here. And we will navigate to our downloads, and that is 3G, and it is the microscope that we're looking for. You can double click it to insert it right there. And pardon me, that's from last week. We are going to move on. And let's adjust the height, alright? So that should be in our picture format tab, up in the size group, change that to 0.7, exactly. And then what we want to do too is change the color. In our adjust group, click the color button, and we are looking for, here we are, blue, let me hover over it, accent color 1 light, and now that matches our title. So on to the instructions. Great, we've done that, and then we apply a black text 1 border, width 2 1/4. So we'll go back with it still selected, go to the Home tab, and in the paragraph group, kind of right in the middle, this drop down here is our border. And let's see here, what's the border that it wants us to go ahead and do? Black text 1 picture border. Awesome, this is going to be great. Let's navigate back and away from the Home tab. Make sure we're in the Picture Format tab, y'all. And we'll go to Picture Border. You may have noticed it in the Picture Styles group. That's a more handy way to add a border to a picture. And you'll select this second one right here. And you'll notice the border go on the outside. Now let's change the weight. So Picture Format tab, Picture Border group up here at the top. Go ahead and select that and go to weight, and the weight we want to change it to is 2 1/4. Perfect, and we can mark that we have earned our first 3 points, and we are now on to step number 3, and text wrapping should be a bit familiar, so let's hop to it. And so this will be a familiar one for many of us. With the picture selected, as indicated by the rotation handles, you can go ahead, make sure you're on the Picture Format tab. Well, you don't need to worry about it because you're going to go ahead and click the Layout Options button right here. And with text wrapping, we want to make sure to click Square. After we've done that, notice the change that it makes. We want to click the See More button at the bottom. And the position will change the horizontal alignment from left. Let's make sure we have it left relative to margin. So just change margin right here. And then down here, the vertical alignment, let's make sure it's set top relative to the margin as well. Right there. Alright, and from here, you should be okay to click OK. And we'll go to the instructions. And it looks like we've earned ourselves another 6 points. We are on to step number 4, starting with the paragraph, New Research on Electronic Health Records. So starting with that paragraph, let's see. So let's fit some more information on this page and give it 2 columns. So go ahead, starting with New Research right here, go ahead and click and select everything on page 1, but don't include the section break, alright? So select all of that, and then what you'll do in the Layout tab, you will, in the Page Setup group, there's a button called Columns. Click it and then go down to 2 columns, and now your file will look as such, right? And so let's see here. Format the to text, and then apply justify alignment, Interesting. So alignment, that's in the Arrange tab up here. And let's see, we're going to look for Justify. Can't seem to find it here. Let me show you the Justify button. So with all of that still selected, and you can always reselect all of that, what you want to do is Home tab, click on that in the paragraph group right here, or Control J to justify. Click that, and what that does is it gives you a much sharper edge right here, and it makes the document look a lot more professional. So let's mosey on back to the Layout tab, and here in the, we need a column break is what we need. So let's scroll down and all the way down to Health Information right here, and put your cursor right before the H so it's blinking right there. And let's again in the Layout tab, page setup group, click on the Columns button. No, click on Breaks. I was close. And then click on Column right here, right there. Select Column, and we're off to an excellent start. Well done. There's a few ways around this one, and good to see you all. Let's see here. So what you want to do is click down to right after patient. That's where you're going to want to click. And it says you want to go to a website, and I'll just show you. Here it is right here. And I just went and I copied it from the grader. Looks like NIH and National Institute of Health, it appears to be. So it's .gov. It appears to be safe. You can insert a blank screenshot as well. You can take a screen snip of this right here is what it's asking. But back to the grader, more importantly, click right here after patient. Click on insert. Let's have a look around. And in the illustrations group, you'll see the screenshot button right here. And it says, oh, there's these available windows. So it looks like I have Panopto open, and we've got this right here. We'll just do a screen snip of this, and if it marks us down, then, well, so be it. All right, that's our assignment, and I can always get points back. We have 3 attempts at each of this, right? So we went ahead and inserted that screen snip, screenshot, however you call it. Just want to make sure that's all we have to do. Apply a black text 1 picture border, width to 1. All right. So we've got our picture. Let's go to, we're in our picture format tab, picture styles group, click the picture border button, and the one that we're looking for should be that one. And go to picture effects, nope. Let's go to picture border, we'll go to weight, and I just want to make sure that we get this exactly as we're being asked. Black text 1, check, and the weight is 1 point. So let's double check the weight. With it selected, go to picture border, and weight is set to 3/4. Let's set it to 1 so it's more prominent. Right, team? And that'll be enough to wrap up those 8 points. We're really cruising now. All right, so let's mark it, highlight it. On to step number 6. We'll select the subheading, new research on electronic health benefits, including the paragraph mark. And let's see here, new research, looking for it, new research. Long document. Maybe you saw it, maybe I scrolled right on past it. Ah, here it is, right here, right under volume 1, new research, right there. Here's what you're going to do. And so let's select the heading first, right? So new research on electronic health records. Go ahead, click and drag to select that. What you'll do next is on the Home tab, right down here, select the font dialog box or Control D, add that to your list of shortcuts. What you'll do from here is click on small caps right there. You'll want to set it to bold. And something else that we want to do is change the color. So font color from automatic. The theme color is dark blue, text 2. That's the one right there. Looking good. So here's a fun one for my artists, right? With Word comes word art, and with formats come the format painter. So let's go ahead and have a look, and you can click OK, by the way. Check that out. With it still selected, up at the top of the Home tab, let's have a look here in the clipboard group. There you are. Feel free to pause and have a look. This is our format painter. When you double click this really quickly, it gives you this cursor right here. You might see me moving around, right? I don't want to press control to show you. But that is our format painter right there. So what we do is we go down and let's paint the titles with that format that we just chose. Just like that. Saving us time. Let's do the same for research sources, aid, and EHR implementation. And again, health information, privacy, and security. Have a look at that. It's starting to look pretty great. Let's go ahead and deselect our format painter so we can go back to normal in the world of Word. And let's have a look at the instructions. Excellent. Subheading, we've done that. We applied bold small caps. We include the paragraph mark with each selection. Did we make sure to do that? Let's tune in. So have a look here. One last thing I want you to have a look at. Below the screenshot here, go ahead and select Doctors Define Meaningful Use. And on the Home tab in the paragraph group, go ahead and click Paragraph Settings. And the spacing before, click this 1, 2, 3 times to change the spacing before to 18 to give that a bit more room to breathe. And I want to make sure that we mark it on our deal here that we've completed step number 6, earned another 8 points. Now we're going to select the last paragraph in the newsletter, the text in bold and italics, ensuring the privacy. Alright, so let's navigate back to here. We'll go to ensuring the privacy. That's right there. So let's add a border, you might be asking. So with all of that selected, so click and drag starting with ensuring, ending with information. Home tab, paragraph group. Here's our border button here. Click the drop down. Let's go ahead and click on borders and shading. Go over here in the setting panel, click on shadow. And we'll keep this first style right there, but let's make sure that we change the width to just 1 point. Excellent, so we've got the right style. Let's go ahead and move over to shading. Back to the instructions. Alright, bear with me just a moment. We're looking for dark blue, lighter 80% on the shading tab. So go ahead, click on fill. And that would be the one if I hover over long enough. Dark blue text 2, lighter 80%. That's the one. Go ahead and click it. Almost to step number 8. And so once you've selected that, you're welcome to select or click OK. With this still selected, and notice the change it made. I appreciate the change. Let's go ahead and center it. And with that done, page 1 looks a lot better. Let's go down to page number 2. And here we have, it could be a research paper. It certainly needs some work, so let's see if we can help out. We can select all of the text right here on the page, right? As I did, click and drag. What you're going to want to do is, I'm already on the Home tab, but make sure you have navigated to the Home tab. In the paragraph group right here, let's click on the Paragraph Settings button. And what we're being asked here on step number 8, and actually let me click OK because I want to make sure that we've marked that we are done with step number 7. Good job, folks. Step number 8, change the line spacing for all the text to 2.0. For the same text, change the spacing after to 0. Okay, so 1 and 2 for 8 points. I'll take that any day. So line spacing for all the text to 2.0, spacing after 0. Alright, so all of that selected. Click on paragraph. Line spacing is going to be 2 or double. And then it said spacing after was meant to be, and we can change this later, I went and clicked it, would be 0 points, spacing after 0. Okay, so we go back in here, it's still selected. Paragraph settings button. Line spacing still double. Spacing after, let's go ahead and change that to 0 and see what it does. And it moves it up some. And so I say that is a solid 8 points for step number 8. We're going to stay here on page number 2 for step 9. First line indent of 1/2 inch to the paragraph that begins, there's often a discrepancy. Alright, first line indent of 1/2 an inch, a little more than a centimeter if you're using the metric system. There's often a discrepancy. That's that first one. So let's click right here, right before the T, and then press tab. And right up here at the top, you'll notice that's right at the 1/2 inch mark. There's 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, 4, 5 inches, 6 inches, 7, and more. Cannot believe I just made that rhyme. I swear I did not plan that. Anyways, let's mark that we're done with that so we can move on and hopefully never watch that again. There's often a discrepancy, marked, highlighted. Blue tells me I've got something to write, so at the bottom of the page, next to the last line, after the period, at the end of the sentence, if they had it, oh, we're inserting a footnote. So if they had it, let's scroll back to here. There's a lot. I'll do a Control F, search for if they had it. There it is right there. So it's at the end of that page right there, page 2 of 4, which you see right down there. Let's navigate back to the instructions to see what they want. If they had it, after the period, at the end of the sentence if they have it, insert the footnote. Awesome. Footnotes are great, and they're really handy in Word, especially if you are in academia. So let's dive into it. And let's navigate to the References tab, y'all. We haven't spent a lot of time there, so now that we've found what we're looking for, we can close out of the navigation panel, and scrolling to the bottom, click right here after if they had it. We'll go to the References tab. What it does is if you scroll to the bottom right here, let's see here. We're going to look for a, did it say footnote? So References tab, footnotes group, or Alt Control F it looks like. Right after if they had it, insert a footnote. There it is right there. Let's go ahead and type in the text, the EMR, and in parentheses, electronic medical record, close the parentheses, is the patient record created in hospitals and ambulatory environments, semicolon, space. It serves as a data source for other systems. Be sure to include the period. Don't make any spelling mistakes. Y'all know better at this point. You will get marked down, right? So make sure that we keep this business professional as we enter in that footnote. I'll scroll up to make sure that we're in the right spot. That's right, outpatient care, very important. Let's check the instructions, and there's a period at the end. I made sure that you noted that. Step 10, we can select it, highlight it, done with step 10. Let's scroll down. We've got more that we'll need to be typing, a fair amount more. It is Word after all, so we've got words to put into our documents. But we've got 16, 17 steps, so we're more than halfway there. Let's just go ahead and dive right into it. So modify the footnote text style. We will set the font to 11 and format it to include a first line indent of 0.5 and double spacing. Interesting. Alright, font size to 11, we can do that. So let's go ahead and select it. We will, I'm just looking around, go to the Home tab, go ahead and change the font size to 11, and it did make that change. It wants us to create an indent, and I know a lot of ways we could do this. First line indent of 0.5 and double spacing. So I would say click right here and press tab is how I do it to create an indent here, and it is a 1/2 an inch as noted up above. Excellent. You did have to deselect. I deselected that, so it only did it on the first line, not both of the lines. So that's great. And then it said that we want to double space it. Alright, so let's jump into it. Reselect it all. Home tab, paragraph group. Let's click the paragraph settings button. Line spacing over here. Switch it from single over to double. And we've got it right in there. And we can safely assume we can mark that step 11 as complete. We're on to a 12-step problem. Or I'm sorry, there's not 12 steps. There could be. It's step number 12. There are 12 points available. So at the end of the paragraph, it says these clinical practices. Click to the left of the period. We're going to insert a citation. All right. Well, it is a research paper after all, so let's go ahead and insert that citation, folks. So let's get you those 12 points. And we'll go back to that references tab. We need some time spent in there. So go ahead, we're looking for, you can do a Control F and look for lacking, but we're looking for this paragraph here. Put your cursor before the period for appropriate citations. This is really important to cite your sources to make sure we give credit where credit is due. An important thing that you are likely doing in education in Microsoft Word. So right here, click before the period after the G before the period and lacking. What you'll do is you'll see I'm on the References tab. Go ahead and click the References tab, and in the Footnotes group we're looking for the Insert Footnote button. No, we're not. Oh my goodness. We're inserting a citation. That was last step. References tab, Citations and Bibliography group, insert a citation, and you can learn more right here, and I recommend clicking this to learn more about it. But we'll click there and we're going to add a new source, and the type of source is going to be a website. So scroll down till we find website, and the information is right here, or well, it's in the Word document, but you can also follow along right here. The author is Gabriel, comma, Barbara, A, and press tab, tab, tab 3 times. Name of the web page is Do EMRS Make You a Better Doctor? Question mark. A better doctor. Make sure that you're capitalizing where you're meant to, so pay close attention to exactly what I type. Pause if necessary. 2008, tab, type in July, tab, day is 15, tab, year access 2016, press tab. You'll type in June, tab, day accessed was the 30th of June. The median was the web. So as we look at all of that, I just want to make sure that you have time to pause and check your information is all set, because we're going to move on and get those 12 points, y'all. And we will put in another citation so we do get those reps in. Alright, so we got all that. Let's click OK. Excellent, and it puts in Gabriel, so we have the citation right there for us. Notice you have a researcher panel over here. Check it out on your time if you'd like. I'm going to press X and move on, because now we're going to look for further research as we scroll down is needed to hone in on specific facts. So we're going to put it in after clinician. So we're going to put a citation in for this paragraph, or specifically this sentence. So right here, again, to cite properly, put in your cursor before the period, as I have. Reference tab, Citations and Bibliography group. Go ahead and click on Insert Citation. You see the one from before. So right, if you're working on a project and you have multiple citations, which is common, if you're writing a history paper, if you're writing and citing in science, or in business, if you're citing business journals, you name it, you're likely to have more than one citation. And you can save all of this in Word, which is great. We're going to add a new source, though. We've already cited Barbara A. Gabriel. We're going to add a new source. This time around, it's going to be a book. So the type of source, go ahead and scroll up, not a section, but just the book. And as it turns out, the author of this book, the last name is DeVore, comma, Amy, tab, tab, tab to get to the title. And the name of the book was The Electronic Health Record for the Physician's Office, comma, 1 lowercase e, tab, written in the year 2010 in the city of Maryland Heights. Publisher is Saunders, medium is print. Tab, type in print, and we're set there to go ahead and press OK, and watch as the citation for DeVore appears right there. Let's check our steps. So, check that. Now look at that, the fill-in field for Mac users. Pardon the frustration if you've made it that far on Mac. Do look up how to do this bit on a Mac and how to do citations. In my experience, it's actually more user-friendly on a Mac to do that, but check into it. And just heads up, I got you 7 points for step 13. Again, pardon, Mac users are going to have a different route to completing this project. So hey, we're almost done. Hey, we've got to make an edit to the Devore citation. We forgot to include 253 as the page number. Okay, so let's jump back over to that. Let's see here, Devore, we're going to click on it and make an edit to that citation. So likely you may need to do this as well in the future. Let's hop to it. And I want you to remember the researcher sidebar after we add this page number, right? So we've selected Devore, click this right here next to it, and click on Edit Citation. Takes us straight to Pages, and it was 253, so people can more specifically access that page, so you know how to reference or read further into the use of EHRs and how they benefit the patient and the clinician. Click OK. Notice the change. What we're going to do now is we're going to get that researcher tab back open. So references tab, researcher panel, pardon me, click that and have a look. Start right here. And so let's see, before we go any further, let's make sure that we put those 5 points in the bank, highlight it. We open the researcher, and including the quotation marks, go ahead and copy this, and it looks like we're going to be searching on the researcher, and we'll press enter. Top sources, journals, an extensive number of journals, researcher pane, page 1 on the research paper, there's often a discrepancy. Sounds familiar. So I copied it, I'll Control V, electronic health records with the quotation marks, press enter. Excellent. Okay, so here's all of them that they had mentioned. They showed up right here in Word. The one we are looking for is, what did they say? Page 1, paragraph, hold on. Close the researcher pane. Alright, that's what I thought. It just says notice. And you'll notice that the book says notice, and you don't actually do anything. You just need to pay attention to how to do that. So that is handy for researchers. But we close the pane. On page 1, there's often a discrepancy. Select electronic health records. Okay, so that's just how you do that. Select X. Scroll back up. They said on page 1, or did they say electronic health records? Let's make sure. There's often a discrepancy. Let's do a Control F. Oh, there we go, EHR. So we have something we might want to highlight, right? We're taking notes. And so go ahead, select the Home tab, scroll up to the top to where you can see electronic health records here. And right here where it does say electronic health records, I want to highlight that, come back to it later. So Home tab, font group, go ahead and select this. It's the text highlight color. It's defaulted to yellow. And so you can do that in the future as you take notes or create your own Word documents so you don't forget anything there. So simple as that. There's your points. We'll go down to the bottom of the document right here to our final page, and you'll notice it says Eisler 3, and the instructions ask us to. So let's cite the work at the end of this. Bibliography should be familiar to us, so let's go back to references. I'm glad we're spending time in here. And from inside there, let's make sure that we have a look around, and we want to insert citation, but hang on just a moment. There we are. Bibliography. I'm always close. So right up here, look for the circles. Reference tab, Citations and Bibliography group. Click Bibliography, and then scroll down, and we'll click on Works Cited to put in both of those citations so that they're both there. Now what we're going to want to do is go ahead and right here with our Works Cited, we're going to be sure to select the Works Cited text, and what you'll do is click on the Home tab, and what we're going to do is take that Works Cited, and let's have a look at the instructions here. What you want to do is, that's right, here we are. select font right over here in the, or do Control D, drop down right here. What you'll do is, oh, bear with me, we're on the I'm clicking all over the place. It's been a long project. Go ahead and click Home tab, Paragraph Group, Paragraph Settings. We want to line space it to double, and we want to change the spacing to 0 right there. Alright, as soon as we're done with that, you can click OK, frees up some space right there, and you'll want to center. Home tab, Paragraph Group, Center, or Control E to center our work cited. And I'm excited to check in and see how well we did. So let's go back. Let's make sure that we've done everything. I need to give credit and our 4 points for step 15. Same 1, 2, 3 clicks to select everything inside of a cell in a table. There's another Microsoft Word trick, and let's highlight that. And since we have saved the file, we're going to submit it for grading. Step 17, we are just about done. Let's make sure that we get credit for our work. Here's our Word document. Control S to save. Great. Just want to make sure that it's not having us change anything in the formatting. Nothing in the properties. I'm excited. Great. So let's go back. We downloaded the files. We worked on them on the computer. Let's upload the Word document. So select Choose File. Click Downloads. Scroll up to where it is. Word 3G newsletter and research paper. And the one that we just completed, it is late in the day, as you can see, 7:14 p.m. on the 24th of February 2022, day after the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Let's upload that, just giving historical context while we upload our work, since my lab takes a while. Once it says success, you can go ahead and it says past due. It's okay, still submit it, even if it's late. Go ahead and submit for grading. Kudos. You'll be able to go ahead and go to course materials. That tab will then close. This will refresh. This may say pending here. And okay, yeah, sure, it's late. When you click these 3 dots here, that's the first thing you're going to want to do. Don't be alarmed by a 0 score, please. It'll say 0. I will overwrite it, and you can see how well you did right away, even if it's late. So go ahead, click these 3 dots here. Click on View Submissions. And wait just a little bit while Mozart plays a little bit of music. And that's the zeros I was telling you about. Click anywhere here or here or here in that blank space to view your submission. And make sure that you let me know. I got an 89.667%. And as you know, I don't get 100% unless I get above a 90%. That'll get you full credit in this class. So again, first let me know if you've submitted it late. Click the live comments report on the side to get a copy of your Word document with comments on it showing you where exactly you may have made a mistake. And I did good to step 7. Did pretty well. And let's see what mistake I made. I failed to set the paragraph to the border colors to the correct one. So if you want to go back and make that change, step 7, make sure that you go back in this instruction guide, this walkabout, make the change there. Whoa, I did not modify the footnote. That's the major one, y'all. So see if you can find that. Let me know. We didn't modify the footnote text style to 11 or format the footnote text. I thought I did that, but go ahead and make sure you go back and make all of these changes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, the live comments report, which I'll go ahead and open right here, it's your markup report, and it'll tell you your score that we just saw, and it will give you tips and ideas and comments, most importantly, on where we made mistakes. So look, project error, hover over it, and it shows you how to, and I'll enable editing. It'll show you, let's see if we can find another one. It'll show you specifically, and it looks like it's just mostly in this one spot right here. I got points deducted for all of these points, and that was the border that we were talking about. And as I scroll up, as I look around, I'm not seeing anything major. We've got a point deduction summary, and you just go back. You have 3 submissions, so I will take your highest score. So that's just submission 1 out of 1. And so if you view activity details, attempts allowed is 3. We're on 1 out of 3, so with 2 more submissions, you should be able to get those points back. That is Microsoft Word Grader 3. Go ahead and submit your work. Let me know via YouTube, comments, LinkedIn, email, whatever, you name it. Reach out. It'd be great to hear from you. I hope you're learning a lot. And take care. I'm Professor Blowers. We'll see you next time.